Thank you guys. How great is she? Thank you so much, Marseille. I have to say that I invited Marseille here because I would like to be her when I grow up. I can't lie about that. And honestly, at such a young age, she is civic-minded, she is clearly wise beyond her years, and hilarious. So I want to thank her so much for spending her weekend here, and her parents for coming. Thank you guys so much. Helen for making everything happen all the time. And honestly, I want to thank everyone at the I Have a Dream Foundation for honoring me and for inviting me here. You know, I was aware of the organization because of, Justin and Daryl and colleagues of mine, so I was aware of their work on the periphery, and I really appreciated the opportunity to get to know it more up close and personally. And I'm very inspired by the work that you guys are doing, and I just want to thank you for your work because it's so needed, especially right now. As I was thinking about what to kind of talk about today with you all, it's hard to not acknowledge that we're living in interesting times, to put it mildly. And I was really thinking about that notion of the American dream, and Ava spoke a little bit earlier about Martin Luther King's words in the name of this foundation, and that actually kind of drove me to actually look up the definition of the American dream, because we kind of all take it for granted, right? You kind of say it a little flippantly, and I really took a minute and I said, I'm gonna really look at it, especially in times like these, when the tenets and values that our society and that American dream seem as if they're being challenged on a pretty constant basis. So I wanted to just kind of share with you guys the definition that I found, because Google is an amazing thing, you guys. You can find great things there. But James Truslow Adams' classic definition of the American dream is that life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability and achievement, regardless of the fortuitous circumstances of birth or position. And as I thought about those words, it really hit me, because I hadn't really thought about it, that I am legitimately the daughter of parents who are results of the American dream, like direct results of the American dream. Both of my parents migrated from the South to California when they were young on a search for better opportunities at the height of the civil rights movement, when there was so much unrest and segregation and often violence in the South that really limited the opportunities for people of color at that time. They were frequently the first, as I will talk about a little bit later, and my grandmother is here as well, which I'm so honored to have her, the first to accomplish so many things that I, in my lifetime, have not had to remotely deal with because of their struggles. One specific story I wanted to share with you all here that really resonated with me in terms of the mission statement of the I Have a Dream Foundation is my father, Dr. Jerome Hunter, who's here this evening, moved from Birmingham, Alabama in high school to California, to Santa Barbara, as the result of a program that was created by the Unitarian Church in Santa Barbara at that time, where they raised funds and created a program to create opportunities for young children coming out of the South who did not have opportunities in their own communities. And it was one of those things that's just kind of the fabric of my life. I know that story, I knew the family, and as I got older, and Marseille and I were just talking about the movie Get Out, but if anyone's seen it, but I thought, like, that's a really bold decision to send your child to live with strangers across the country. Like, why would you do that? And, let's be honest, at that particular time, it's not as if race relations were at their peak of, harmony. And I remember asking my father, what possessed Granddad and T-Mama, which is my grandmother, to let you do that? And he said to me that my grandfather, who was a laborer in the steel mills, literally said to him, if you stay here, you probably won't be able to make anything of yourself. And I really thought about that for a minute, that for a parent to have to look at their child and say the best opportunities you are going to have are probably someplace else. What the courage that must have taken for both of my grandparents to do that. My grandfather didn't have those opportunities. He only went to school up until the 8th grade. He then had to stop going to school to stay home and help his mother to raise his siblings. But he wanted those opportunities for his children. So when an olive branch was reached out, when a bridge was built, he put my father on that bridge. So my dad came out to California, to Santa Barbara, where he lived with a family, the Crane family, Reverend Crane, his wife Grace, and their 3 children. He completed his years of high school there. But his relationship with Reverend Crane did not end when he graduated from high school. It didn't end when he graduated from college. It didn't end when he earned his graduate degrees or got his doctorate from USC. The Crane family were literally pivotal figures in our lives for my entire life. And I know that my father learned the value of education. He had incredible spiritual conversations with Reverend Crane. There was incredible personal and life lessons that he learned from that family and from that relationship that they had, and that I had for my entire life. And Reverend Crane passed last year, but I can tell you from 1963 until 2016, that was a relationship that was ongoing. That my family, my father, my mother, my siblings, you can't quantify the impact that that relationship had. And that program, that courageous program that was created to create a bridge of opportunity for children who did not have opportunities at that time has made such a huge and impactful difference. So I was so honored to be here and so honored to see the work that these people are doing, not these people, that you all are doing and that you dreamers are doing, and if anything, to sort of testify to the longevity of it. And again, I think the specific things we saw in the video about the relationships that are formed with the program coordinators and these students, we saw that firsthand, and that those relationships aren't just beneficial for the children. They're beneficial for the coordinators. They're beneficial for the mentors that you saw up here today. I'm so happy to see you here, but we're so moved by all of the relationships that I experienced when we were able to go and visit the campus in Inglewood. And so, I just want to share with all of you here, like dreamers as well as the mentors, that, my parents were absolutely often the first in their family. They were the first to leave the South. My mother, who has her own story, which would take another 20 minutes, so you guys won't get that tonight. But both of them came out here and took a leap and had courage. Their parents wanted better lives for their children. And I've seen them become first to get their degrees. I've seen them become first to do many things, but they have not been the last. And all of you dreamers here, you will not be the last. You are manifestations of the American dream, every single one of you. You are planting seeds for the next generation. You are giving me hope that as we look at the challenges that are in front of us, that we're actually in good hands, Marseille and all of the dreamers. And I want to thank all of you for your hard work. And I want to thank all of the staff, and all the coordinators, and everyone at I Have a Dream for what you do, because it is so necessary and so essential. And I know that without those sorts of efforts, I absolutely would not be standing here today. And I know these dreamers are going to go on into the world to do amazing and wonderful things. And I can't wait to see what each and every one of you has in store. Thank you very much.